Hey folks, this is Ham the Guinness Gamer here, bringing you my 10-minute summary of Medieval Dynasty's gameplay. Now, what this is about 30 or 40 minutes worth of gameplay content, shrunk down into 10-minute bite-sized video, essentially to make it as succinct as possible while still giving plenty of information for people who are deciding whether they want to play the game. Now, I've just started here in the middle of a forest, as you will. If you buy the game, and I'm just running around picking up sticks and stones, and I'm fast forwarding it here just to get through as much content as possible, as I say. So I'm running around here, typical survival game, picking up stones, sticks, and exploring the area. Now where I'm going here is I'm making my way down to the main village where you'll get your first quest. And I'll talk to the main quest giver. Now essentially he's going to end up giving us a quest to make a stone axe and to build your own house, which again standard enough for a survival game. So we'll talk to him here and fast forward through the dialogue quick enough. And what he's going to do, as I say, is tell us to make our own stone axe. So I've already crafted the materials that we'll actually need for the stone axe, you know, with picking up all those sticks and stones. Again, it's straightforward enough that way for a survival game. So I'm going to run through this village. This is one of maybe 6 or 7 villages in the game, which have obviously a lot of NPCs in it. So I'm checking here, the first quest, make a stone axe, and I'm going to go into my inventory here and handcraft. I'm going to make a stone axe, as I say, using sticks and stones. Now this is going to enable us, of course, to chop down trees. You can also use it to fend off wild animals and things like that, but essentially the main purpose of it is to chop trees to get logs, and then you're going to use logs to build your house. Now, first building we are going to build is a house, of course, but there are many different buildings that you can build. Discuss these briefly here just while I'm chopping. And all of those different buildings, they get unlocked by XP. So essentially I've got very little unlocked at the minute, but every time I'm chopping a tree I'm getting survival XP. And when you build buildings, this guy is just a wagoner that can actually move you from town to town. But this is me collecting reeds. Then you need reeds for straw, and that's used for the basic roof of buildings. And then I'm going to make a hammer, as you see there quite quickly. The hammer is then used to actually build the buildings. But as I was saying, the XP for the buildings then, there's like an XP tree, and the more that you build buildings and the more that you use your survival skills such as hunting and crafting and you know, harvesting the likes of reeds and trees there, you will get more XP and you unlock more buildings, and that's how you progress your wee town. Now essentially I'm going to run out here just trying to find a nice suitable flat area. There's some wheat I'm picking up. This is just a random tipped over cart, and you'll find these throughout the map and you'll get random resources from it. But I am running out this road to get a nice flat area for which to start my settlement and where to build. And as I said earlier, the first building you're going to build is a house. Now again, here's a nice wee area with some resources. There's a stone axe for us, I'll come back to that later, and some logs, and then this abandoned supplies, an apple tree seedling, which is pretty nice. You know, we're not able to plant that yet, but when we get it planted it'll be extremely useful for obviously producing apples each year. Now I'm just going to keep going out here and find a nice flat area, and now I'm going to build the house. Now the building's fairly simple, but I actually really enjoy it. So I'm going to place this house here. You see you've got a green and red placement there for whether you can actually place it on the ground or not, so that is standard enough. So I'm going to place this, and then it's going to lay out a plot on the ground, and to interact with that plot I need to actually switch with the hammer and switch to the wooden hammer that I've made, and then I can actually place things on it. That's me going to find my hammer that I've made into my inventory, and that's me placing it then into my toolbar that you see there, number 1 to 8 over there, that's highlighted now. So just place it as number 2, and then once I select it, it brings up an area and it tells you what it needs. So this is just for the foundations, and it says you need 10 stones. So I'm going to run away here and harvest these, well, collect these stones I guess. And there, as you see, that's a new level of survival coming up. From, you know, the early levels you go up quite quick, so that will just have unlocked some basic parts of the game, because I only needed like 5 XP or something to unlock that stage. So here I am placing the stones into the foundation. As luck would have it, of course, I'm one short. So once you place that, that's the foundation place, and then the framework comes up, and we need logs for this. And again, of course, we're one short. There's a limit to the amount that you can actually carry, so the amount of logs that you can harvest in any one run off into the forest there is limited. So it is, particularly the early game, it's a lot of running and harvesting and chopping trees and fighting stones, of course, as you'd expect by the nature of the game. Now I am going through, this is just a reminder about water. So there's a food bar and a water bar down the left hand corner, and I've built quite close to a lake here, so I have a regular source of water. And now what I'm looking at here, these are the different walls types. So when you're building the house in particular, you can choose whether to build your walls out of wattle, like sticks and mud, or out of wooden planks, or out of stone. Now I went with wattle, it's a basic one, and that's because it is the quickest and the easiest to build. But ultimately you would be building your houses out of stone because they're warmer and it keeps your people happier. Now right now I'm the only person, but ultimately you end up having other people in your wee town once you get enough Dynasty reputation, which I just got an increase in there for building the house. So now that this house is built, this will be my house, and this has unlocked, well, there's a campfire that comes automatically in the house once you build it. And I'm just sort of scrolling through here the different foods you can make. I don't have most of them unlocked at this stage. You need a wee bit more XP to actually unlock those, and I also don't have the ingredients for some of them too. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to go out here and get another drink of water, and then we're going to have to go hunting for food. Now, you do start with a bit of food in your inventory, which is obviously useful to stop you dying in the early game. So I'm going to eat, I think we're going to eat a couple of apples here, and some dried meat maybe. Now the apples, if you see down the left hand corner, the apples give you food and water, and you need to keep both of those bars up at all times. If you can die of thirst, you can die of hunger, so you need to keep those. You can also die by animals goring you, as we'll see shortly, but you need to keep those bars up. So I'm going to eat some of the dried meat that I start with, and yeah, as you see, you start with some apples and an oat roll and some other things there, so it's enough to get you through a few days you start with. But I want to start my own food production ASAP, because it, as I say, a few days, it doesn't take long for that to come around, and you'll go through your food quite quickly, and then you're up shit's creek essentially. So I'm going to make a stone knife here. This is to go hunting. The stone knife essentially is for skinning the animals. It's not actually for killing the animals. That item that you use for killing them, for hunting them, is wooden spears. So I'm going to make a few here. Now the wooden spears are made out of logs, so you need to chop a few more logs with the stone axe just to have a few spears. Now the spear can be used to push or to stab, but it can also be thrown, and it's throwing that's most useful. So I am gonna go out here and probably make a couple. There's a lot going on here on the screen with the HUD, but I will explain that in a future live stream, or sorry, in a future video. But this is just me attacking a boar, and I realised quite quickly that I have not played this game enough, or I'm not strong enough to actually attack a boar. I hit him with a spear there, or two, and he is goring me to death. So it is something that you should really be aware of. Pick your targets wisely, because once you die, that's the end of the game. So now I'm going after a bit of smaller prey. This is a badger, I believe. Now again, they run a lot, and they actually have quite high health bars, so pretty sure I hit him with one of those wooden spears, and he's still fine. So you can at least pick up your spear when you miss. So that's just what I was showing there. This is a trap that I'm building, a rabbit trap, and that's probably the best way, the easiest way to get meat in the early game. At least if you're doing it yourself. So I place that, and it will collect rabbits every so often. Now this guy, as you see, I just got 2 direct hits with a spear, and he is still doing pretty good damage to me. So hunting is definitely something that you there's one in the ass as well. Hunting's definitely something that it takes a bit of skill, it takes a bit of getting used to. Now he ran away there, but he did bleed out, so that's why he died there, because the spears were obviously doing ongoing damage to him. So I killed him there, skinned him for meat and fur, and now I've brought the meat back to the stone campfire, and now I am roasting it. And essentially this is our first 10 minutes more or less You know, it's the first a half hour to an hour of actual gameplay, but I hope that this has given you enough information for you to work out whether you like this game or not. But I will be doing more content in the future regarding it. But for now, thank you for watching, and goodbye and good luck. If you want to give me a like or a subscribe, that would be much appreciated. But as I say, there'll be more videos coming out of Medieval Dynasty in the future, and if you're interested in it, sure, leave me a comment. But for now, I will see you later. Good luck.